What's going on, guys? Austin back, and today I'm going to be telling you guys the best tips for every single rank in Rainbow Six Siege to help you get to the next rank and to rise above and soar across the ranks. But yeah, I suggest in this video, even if you say you're like silver and you just want to hear the silver tip, I advise you guys to really just watch the whole video and get all the tips and the information, because at the end of the day, I think a lot of these tips and stuff like that are going to overlap into each other, or can be applied to any rank. But yeah, at the end of the day, make sure you guys are watching this full video. I hope this helps you. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into this video. All right, so for the first rank, we have unranked. I didn't know if I wanted to include this one in here, but the tip for you guys is to get to level 50 so you guys can actually get ranked. All right, so for the first rank of the day, we have Copper. Chances are, if you're in Copper, you just got into ranked, you just started playing the game and stuff like that, and it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. And the only tip I really have for you guys, and the best thing for you guys, is honestly just to play the game. If you just play the game, you're just gonna get better and get out of Copper. Nobody just like kind of stays in Copper. If you're consistently playing, even not like consistently playing, if you're just playing a game every couple days, you're gonna get better. You're gonna be able to hit bronze and get out of Copper. But yeah, it's really simple, straightforward. Just play more in Copper, and you're just gonna get better. Skills are gonna get better. You're gonna get out of Copper easy. But yeah, that is it for Copper, short and sweet. Now for bronze. Bronze, you just got out of Copper. You guys are chilling down there in bronze. Not the best, but at the end of the day, I think the best thing that I can say for Coppers, for your guys' tip, is to learn the maps. If we go over here and we just look at the maps, learning maps and positioning, and like learning maps is going to allow you to position yourself better, win more gunfights, stuff like that. It's going to allow you to just hold maps better. And honestly, if you just know maps better than the other team, chances are you're going to win every game. You know what I mean? And a lot of the time, learning maps is obviously just going to come with playing the game. Or maybe you are doing like a warm-up, and you're just running through a map you've never like played before, or that you don't know, to learn the places, learn the layout and stuff like that. At the end of the day, in bronze, like stuff like that is going to make a huge difference, because there's a huge, that is going to become and make a huge gap, because if you know the map way better than the other person, especially in like bronze, because a lot of people are coming from Copper just playing the game. So a lot of the times, they're basically just they played a map a couple times and they don't really know the ins and outs. But if you know the ins and outs, and you practiced on it, and you're good to go, the ins and outs, you mastered the map, maybe not mastered, but you know it pretty well, you're gonna have a huge advantage in every single game you play against those people that don't know. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's just gonna make your life and the game so much more easy and enjoyable for yourself. So yeah, if you are in bronze, your tip is to learn maps. All right, so next up we have the silvers. Obviously, if you just hit silver and you're in silver, you made it out of the trenches, the little poopy butt ranks down here, and you're moving your way up, you're feeling good, and you're chilling in silver. But your guys' tip is going to be learn and improve your game mechanics. Now, game mechanics, I think, can be stretched out into things like I'd say droning is a big one. Crosshair placement, your leaning, which way you're leaning when taking when in a gunfight, when you're about to take a gunfight, when you're holding angles, and quick peeking. Quick peeking, I will say, is kind of advanced. So if you don't know how to quick peek, and it's really tough for you, obviously you can exclude that one. But those droning, crosshair placement, leaning, are kind of your big three, I would say, of you need to improve and learn how to do those things well. And I think in silver, the gun skill is getting a little bit better, I would say. Obviously, I haven't been down there in a while, not trying to like flex or put out an ego, because I'm not the best in the world. But, I think that's kind of the big thing. If you know how to drone well, you're going to, position yourself, get many more kills for your team, feed them more intel that's going to generate into round wins. Crosshair placement obviously is going to easily, like, if you have good crosshair placement and you're improving it, and you're putting an emphasis on getting it better in your games, and like when you're actually playing, you're going to get a lot more kills, a lot more headshots, going to lead to quicker kills. You're going to like win gunfights that maybe sometimes you wouldn't if you weren't aiming for the head and stuff like that. And then leaning, when you're holding angles, and you don't want to be leaning where you're exposing yourself a lot, or things like that. But yeah, I think leaning is pretty self-explanatory. You just want to be leaning the right way. So you're, covering your body, not giving up too much of your body for the enemies to hit. But yeah, other things, game mechanics, maybe it's, working on your utility usage, just using it. I think in silver, like if you're able to just use your stuns, like just throw them and get them out, most of the time they're going to help you. But yeah, use your utility, stuff like that. And yeah, really, improve those things. Obviously, like when you're in silver, you know how to drone. When you're in silver, you should know where to place your crosshair. But working on those things and really polishing them and, learning things like, leaning the right way and, quick peeking if you know how to quick peek. Obviously, you don't have to do the thing where you like Shaiko peek where you're like quickly tapping the buttons, but if you can just lean one way and then like quickly go in and out of like a doorway to see where the person is, that's going to give you a huge advantage, and it's really going to help you with your gun skill, because when you're in silver, you're going to have to start improving your gun skill and being able to get more kills. So yeah, I'd say that tip is, so in silver, is just improve your game mechanics and learn them. So even if you suck at quick peeking, just learning it and applying it in some games is going to help you. But yeah, that is silver. Next up, we got my gold boys out here getting their headgear this season. Shouts out. But yeah, for my gold players, it's just going to be a quick, simple one. It's not really going to be game mechanics, nothing like that. All it is to find people to play with. I think this is where you're going to, start to need to have that, right? Because I think, you got out of silver, you're not in bronze, you're not in copper, or even, in this back thing. This applies to, this tip applies to everybody, but most importantly, gold players, because this is when you're going to need to start doing this, is just finding people to play with, because finding people to play with, you're just going to have so much more coordination. Like I said, man, I had a solo queue video that dropped on my channel, and, I stress in the video, like, you don't want to solo queue. You want to play with as many people as possible, because of the fact that, you are basically as good as your teammates in a sense, because you can be the best player, but if you have no help from your team or no communication, it's gonna be tough for you to win, right? So just finding people to play with, so you can, have them, run operators that you need them to run, or just have those call outs of like where you died at, or oh, here, let me, like put down a drone, I can hop on your flank, so you don't, when you're playing with like randoms, and you don't have anybody like to say, watch my flank drone, and you die from your flank, that's, gonna get you killed and stuff like that. So finding people to play with at the end of the day is gonna be huge for any rank. If you can get it like in copper, bronze, silver, that's gonna be massive for you guys. But yeah, especially in gold, because you see the ranks that are coming up: plat, emerald, diamond, champ. You're gonna need, like when you're playing in those ranks, especially, you're gonna need people to play with, and it's gonna be really tough for you guys, for you to win solo queue games, sorry. But yeah, that is gold. Start to find people to play with. If you need someone to play with, I always stress it, I said this a couple times on my videos, comment down below. No, there's no shame at all, because you don't have anybody to play with. If you need someone to play with, go to my comment section right now, type your gamer tag, what rank you are, and stuff like that, and people will probably be interested, because I'm sure, like, if you're watching this right now and you don't play with anybody and you solo queue and you lose, if you go to the comments and you find someone to play with, or even if you comment and you find people to play with, you are going to be so much better. I literally promise you guys. I promise. Pinky promise. Find people to play with. Next up, platinum. You are done. You are out of these little ranks down here, these first four, and you got this cool little color plat. For plat players, I would say, because I'm, a former plat player, plat players have high egos. They think they're a lot better than they are, because they're like, oh, we're not in gold, we're not in these little poopy ranks anymore. We're in this cool color. We're almost an emerald. Platinum's tip is to be a team player. Be a team player, man. Like, seriously, you can't just go into the building and frag out every time. That, in reality, that's not how it works. Everybody says this isn't Call of Duty. This isn't stuff like that. So if if your team needs wall, run wall. If your team needs a trap operator, run a trap operator. There is no shame that you can't run Wamai every single round. There's no shame that you can't run Cav every round. There's no shame you can't run Vigil every round, Ash, Nook. Like, nobody cares in the grand scheme of things. I would rather, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would rather be champion with a 1 or with a point 0.9 KD than be stuck in platinum with a 1.6 because you bait, you just run frag ops every time and you're stuck in plat. Nobody wants that. They would rather be champion because you know what? At the end of the day, the most important thing is winning games. And if you're just running, if you're not being a team player, you're not helping your team, it just makes it that much harder to, win games and win rounds and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that is the main thing for plat. Drop the ego, be a team player, run the operators your team needs, reinforce, make rotates. Like, come on, man, this is basic Siege. But yeah, drone, set up flank drones, intel guys, platinum, be a team player, please. All right, so next we have Emerald. You're pretty close to champ at this point. And you're probably pretty good at the game. I'm not gonna lie. If you're a champion or an Emerald, you're pretty solid. I would say. But for my Emerald guys out there, I would say you need to start coordinating more with your team. If you follow the gold tip, you have people to play with. You play with people, and even if you don't, I think coordinating in this game is, Emerald and up is kind of where it starts to get a little flimsy because Emerald, Diamond, and Champ, you're gonna kind of all play each other. Plat and Gold are gonna kind of play with each other with some emeralds, and then like silver, copper, and then we're gonna play with each other. But an emerald, you're gonna be playing most of the time, you're gonna be playing people that are probably better than you and in those higher ranks. So coordinating good is going to be your best friend, honestly, because I would say like run strats and stuff kind of goes in this category. But not a lot of people are gonna run strats and stuff and know things like that. But basically, what I mean by coordinate is just kind of you need to call where you're pushing. You know what I mean? You need to have more of an idea of what you want to do in that round, and it can be just a loose idea. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we want to let's say we're on bank basement. Hey, we want to go get plant down in CC. Okay, so what do we need to bring? Operator wise, okay, we need to bring maybe like a Montane. We're gonna need to bring hard breach. We're gonna need to get the hatch above so we can watch that plant and help our team plant that bomb. So stuff like that, just really loosely, just you need to think about the rounds a little bit more and how you're gonna solve things. Like, oh, if we need to go get the hatch with a Habana, we need to run an Habana, and then maybe we need to have like the Montane. If we're running a Montane, quickly go upstairs with EMPs and get the hatch real quick because they have a Cade. Things like that. Like, it can be super just like baseline like that. Like, just coordinating around a lot more is just gonna help you walk through how you're gonna win the round and stuff like that. And this can be right in the prep phase when you guys are picking your operators, or like when you're droning in and you're getting intel and stuff like that, just feeding it to your team, coordinating off of that, things like that. It's really simple. I don't think this is really a hard tip. I feel like you do it more like you do it small amounts in these other ranks, but I feel like when you get to Emerald, you need to really start thinking about it more. Or not just Emerald, but like these higher ones. Obviously, you can see I'm not champ this season, but stuff like that. But yeah, Emerald, coordinate with your team more and better to hit higher ranks. All right, and then we have my boy Diamond out here. We are currently Diamond, but I would say in Diamond, really, like, you should have everything. If you're in Diamond, like, you basically have a baseline of everything. You have every tip that I kind of explained in this video. You know the game of Siege well enough. And really all it is just polishing up. That is the tip. Polishing up on everything in all your skills. So like running strats, stuff like that, coordinating with your team, you need to be better at that. Polish that up. Your aim, recoil controls, stuff like that, polish that up. Your map knowledge, you need to polish that up. Literally everything. Polish it up, just get good. And because like when you get diamond, I feel like you're really like on this edge of like hitting champion. Like even if you hit diamond 5, like you're there. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's just diamond is there for you to just kind of polish and perfect everything before you get to that highest rank in the game. So yeah, I would say for diamond, literally polish up everything. Maybe you need to start getting an aim routine or like a warm up so you can better warm up and over time get your aim better and stuff like that. But yeah, all diamond is, again, polish up everything that you've cultivated and learned in Siege and all those hours you spent learning stuff, finish it off. complete it, polish it, get it all good so you can hit the next rank. And then the tips for my champions, you're the best. There's no tips. There's no tips for this. You're the best. Have fun. You're probably, you guys are the best in the game. So like play like it, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have anything for champion because you guys obviously hit the top rank. You guys are the best in the game and stuff like that. I mean, just again, I feel like it's more off a diamond, maybe, learn more counter strats, maybe watch some pro league, really advance your pushes and your attacks and stuff like that, and just hit, high ranks in champion and stuff like that, hit global and stuff like that. But yeah, that's really it for champion. I don't have anything. All right, so that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one and learned something, learned a thing or two. If you did, make sure you hit the like, subscribe button if you're still here. My Twitch is linked in the description. We're live pretty much every night. If you want to go check us out over there. But yeah, that is going to be all for today's video. Again, I hope you guys did learn something and you watched till the end. You can check out some of my other videos if you want to get better at this game. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.